I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. What is up, everybody? Happy Friday to you all. And TV Jones is in the building. He's alive. He's okay. TV Jones, would you like to address the people about what's been going on in your life recently?
Yeah, suspension's over. Kyle suspended me.
There was no suspension, bro.
Paid my dues. No, I'm kidding. No suspension. Just weird timing. I'm gonna be a dad. No, I'm just playing. There was no. It was just.
You had me for a second.
No. Just everybody on our show was not around at the same time, so I can't just leave someone hanging to sit there by themselves. And then fell asleep last night, missed both the shows. So it was just life came at me fast for 2 weeks, but we're back.
Life came at you fast.
I was gonna say, Trevor, I think I missed 2 shows total for my last 2 children being birthed. So if you missed 2 weeks for the announcement, there's gonna be some issues going on. but we're good. We're good.
Oh, I'd be so screwed.
No, you'd be all right, buddy.
All right. So I went 1-2 tonight. I won Ohio State, lost Lemoyne, lost UNC Wilmington. So I went 1-2, making it 3 losing days in a row for me. After 9 consecutive winning days, I've now had 3 consecutive losing days. Isn't that how it goes?
I know. I think I'm 119 and 119 now in the last 30. After you go. So yeah, I'm like dead even after I was 1-2 today too. Well,
went 2-3 with my picks on the show last night. Have never heard so many comments about a losing pick than I did with Vermont. Absolutely wonderful, guys. Keep it coming. I love it. I feed off that shit. I need that shit. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Hey, do you believe me now that when I said John Becker and Vermont are washed? The American East runs through the nerds of New Jersey, my guy. If March Madness started today, they'd freaking win it all.
TV Jones, go drink some more Busch Light or whatever it is. Piss water.
Mick Ultra, you don't get this figure by drinking Busch Light every day.
Yeah, I saw a couple comments that was like, "Get Spoon off the show." Like he just hit like 70% for a month.
Yo. Like I told you, Spoon, you're over. That's a good thing.
All right, so it's Friday. It's not the most
time is over, old man.
It's not the most loaded day for college basketball. We got 9 games. We're just gonna go through them all. And then I have one NBA bet that we could talk about at the end. So yeah, first up, Loyola Chicago against Davidson. Davidson laying 12? Is Loyola Chicago that bad? Didn't they just win a bet for you guys? Didn't you just win a bet with them?
Yeah, nobody liked that. That was a terrible Loyola bet. Nobody wanted to get on versus LaSalle, but LaSalle's a bad team. Davidson's a lot better. And this is a huge step up in competition for this Loyola Chicago team, but I really feel like they've been coming into their own. This team's getting a lot healthier. I think this number is a little bit disrespectful to them. I think it's based off the full season body of work. Justin Moore's only been healthy in this lineup for 3 games now. I think this is Loyola's spot. I haven't played it yet. I think more Davidson money continues to come in. I don't know if the line will move with that money, but I wouldn't mind getting Loyola Chicago at a 14.
You can get a juice 12.5 right now. Looks like a -115, 12.5 is available. You really think it moves up? That feels crazy high. I mean, Davidson's not even that good. I mean, they're not terrible, but
so
they're not that good.
Like they hate Chicago, and they're going to see that win, and they're going to be like, "We have to fade them after that win. That's their win of the century. Like, let's just get rid of that." Sorry, Toast, go on.
No, you're good, brother. I agree with you. I want to take the points with Loyola Chicago as well. I wouldn't even argue that Davidson is like a huge, it's a huge step up in class from LaSalle, but this team's already played Dayton twice. They've played George Washington, George Mason, the Bonnies, Duquesne, St. Joseph's. Maybe not St. Joseph's is better than Dayton, but all those other teams are better than Davidson. So I just think that, like you said, with the fact that we have Loyola Chicago getting healthy with Moore being back, this will be what, 4th or 5th game back or whatever it was. And keep in mind, not only are with Loyola Chicago is he their best player, they're also used to using a lot of guys. They're one of the deepest teams in the country as well. I really like Loyola Chicago tomorrow. This is an absolutely disgusting game. There was only 9 games on the board, so I had to look at it. But yeah, I couldn't agree more. I want to take the points as well.
Couple things in the comments. Someone said, who's going to have a kid with Trevor? Well, he lives, I'm assuming the girlfriend that he lives with would be a decent. And someone asked, have you guys ever hung out in person before? Me and Toast have a bunch of times. Have you guys, any of you 3 ever met in person?
Mm-mm.
None,
I met Huff at the Indy 500.
Oh, okay, yeah. But me and Toast have a bunch of times.
Yeah, I go to Kyle's house a couple times a year.
Yeah,
If you want to hang out with me in person, Pubbapalooza number 5 is happening down in San Antonio at the end of March. I'm heading down there. We got midget wrestling. We got bookies in house.
I can't tell if he's joking. Was that a bit or is that a
I
real
can't tell.
thing?
Oh, 100% serious. I
What?
don't have the date. I wish I could say it.
What's it called?
Trevor, you should come down. I
What's
was
it
going to
called?
text you about it.
What's it
It's
called?
called Pubbapalooza. It's put on by Pub Sport.
Pubbapalooza.
It's literally you just go hang out down at the bar. That
I would try, but I just booked World Baseball Classic semifinals and finals tickets. Yeah, I'm very excited.
I don't see a Pubbapalooza here on Google.
You'd have to go to like a Pub Sports X account or Jimmy's X.
Oh, it's a pub
got
sport.
the date.
Oh, pub.
Oh,
it's a pub sports
okay.
thing.
No, nothing to do with
You
Cubs.
said that.
Oh, okay.
I know,
okay.
but
I might go to the
I didn't-
Horizon League tournament. I don't know if that interferes with the timing, but
Anyway, Loyola Chicago. Do you agree the number's too high? TV Jones?
I'm torn. I picked
hold
Davidson
on.
on our show, but
12 and a half's just disappeared on both MGM and DraftKings. It's down to 11 and a half now.
Man,
So I just picked Davidson on our show. I didn't give much thought to it, but looking at this, I mean, Davidson has Mid-Atlantic Christian on deck. So they're off St. Louis max effort game. They've got nobody on deck. Loyola finally got the win. Does that spark them and they start to play well? I tend to start leaning that way more, that they will start playing better. I'll take Loyola with the points, but I ain't betting it. I ain't spending my hard-earned money to find out if they start to play better.
So you just took Davidson on your show and then came over here and took Loyola.
Yeah, I'm not betting it. I had no conviction on that one. That's what I said. But
So
yeah, I'm not betting this
For
game.
Davidson, they're coming off a loss versus St. Louis, 91-82 loss. Pretty tough fought battle. And they have a non-Division I team on deck. So, like, it's not
Like
going to
a
be a look
primo
at
style.
or anything. I do see some credence for Davidson. I know we all just picked Loyola. I just feel like somebody should put something positive on the other side.
you can still there's 12 and a half left for those of you out there who have the capabilities of betting on Hard Rock. There is a 12 and a half left. All right, next game. Feels good to have all 4 people back, by the way.
Just feels right.
It just feels right. Brown Yale. All right, who wants to talk about this one? Again, I picked all 9 games here, so no one selected these games. It's a free-for-all.
Popcorn Trevor.
Popcorn Trevor.
I mean, I don't mind Yale. I don't know. They haven't burned me whenever I bet them. But I'm not. I would take the points with Brown, but I'm not stepping in front of Yale at their crib. Sounds like a terrible idea. I mean, they're coming off of a loss too at home, so really don't want to step in front of Yale. But I would take Brown. Feels like a tad too many points. But I ain't gonna bet this. No, thank you.
Spoon, agree? A tad too many?
No, I lean Yale here. I came into this game looking for a way to back Brown. Yale went into Brown earlier this season, 170-53. They're off a loss in Ivy League to Harvard, one of their long-term rivals. So I feel like this is a get-up spot where you just get a team that's really mad about the final result of the past game. This is also the Ivy League where only 4 teams get in, so every game really matters. I lean Yale to just absolutely blow them out tomorrow.
The Ivy League tournament, it's only a 4-team tournament?
Yeah, it's the smallest tournament out of all of the NCAA tournaments.
So Yale's 5-2. Okay, I see what you're saying. So technically, they're only two games up on not even playing in the tournament. I see what you're saying. Toast, any thoughts on this one?
It would be Yale. Yale off a loss is like Timu, Alabama. Yeah, it would only be Yale for me. I'm not betting it though.
I'm good on this one as well. Let's move on. I got my eye on one game. It's 3 clicks away. I know I'm going to bet the game, and I know what side I want to bet. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any injuries, but we'll get there.
You're not.
Then it's Huskies, Madison Square Garden. Huskies and Madison Square Garden.
Hurry up.
Yeah, we'll get there. It's UConn. All right, Dayton VCU. VCU laying 7 to Dayton. Last time we heard from TV Jones, he told us Dayton was his favorite play of the day against Rhode Island. We all had a good laugh at his expense.
In my defense, it was the spot of all spots. Like, you couldn't craft up a better spot for Dayton to come out and steamroll somebody. And they did early. They were up 15, and then they lost.
They lost in overtime to Rhode Island. So now, has the pendulum swung too far? Because it seems like Dayton went from overvalued to undervalued pretty quick here.
No, they're going to get destroyed again tomorrow. Dayton's broken, guys. I've said this for 2 weeks now. I'm going to stand firm on that. I don't think they're a good basketball team. I know that we give Trevor a whole bunch of crap for the Rhode Island thing. That was them off of 2 losses. They've lost 4 of their last 5. If I'm being honest with you, I wouldn't have been surprised if they lost to the Bonnies the other night. And I feel like they probably should have. And I think the Bonnies were 8.5 point dogs in that game. So I'm not in love with laying a whole bunch of points with VCU. I know that I know if you like betting VCU, they're money makers. And if you look at their games, they have no problem covering numbers. So it would only be VCU for me, guys. I think that Dayton is completely broken, and I would have to actually see them play well for me to even consider betting them.
Spoon, do you agree that Dayton is broken?
Yeah, this is a bet I already have. VCU -6.5, -118. This is a really good VCU team. They're off a tough fought victory versus Fordham, and they get Dayton right here. I feel like there might have been a little bit of a look ahead in that Fordham game to Dayton, and this Dayton team is just reeling. Sure, they came off a win versus the Bonnies, but as Coach they very easily could have lost that game. It was a home game. They needed it after losing 4 straight games to mostly lesser competition, and then St. Louis followed by it. Now they got to step back up, play VCU. This is the wrong time of year for Dayton to get VCU. If I was going to look to back Dayton versus VCU, it would have to be at home, and that game will come in the last game of the season. We'll see if it comes at that point, but this is VCU for me. I think they win this game by more than 10 points.
Also, just want to point out, St. Bonaventure used 5 guys in that game. Like 3 guys played like 5 minutes or less. Everybody else essentially played the whole game. So, and VCU played like everybody. So, just for the record, that's how bad it was.
Yeah, wow, that is kind of crazy. St. Bonaventure had 5 players play 34 plus minutes.
Yeah, dude.
They only wow, that's crazy. Why did they do that? Wow.
I'm not sure how it works, and I don't know exactly what their injuries were.
My God.
That's how they bench minutes for the year. St. Bonnie's are 353 in the country. Okay. They stick to their main 6 basically.
Well, this one, it was just main 5. There wasn't even a 6th. And you want to hear something crazy? This game where Dayton beat St. Bonnie 72-70, the Bonnie shot 21% from deep in that game.
4 for 19, yeah.
What do you think, TV Jones? Buy low on Dayton?
No. This Dayton team is bad. VCU for me. You look at VCU, they like to get downhill. They like to get to the rim. They can shoot the 3. They like to do everything. Dayton can't really do a whole lot of anything, correct? Right now, I know they just beat the Bonnies, but like Toe said, they definitely didn't deserve to. But good win. Now you got to hit the road and go to the Siegel Center on a Friday night. VCU hasn't been blowing teams out. It's been that 6, 7, 8 point margin, but Dayton is riding high, feeling good off of a win, but they're not a good team. VCU is a good team that have to keep winning. I think they're going to be the more desperate and hungry team here tomorrow. I like VCU. I think they'll kill them. VCU also one of the top 15 teams in the country at distance to rim for shots. So they like to get really close downhill, and Dayton does not defend the paint and the rim very well. So VCU should be able to get downhill, get whatever they want. in this one, and plenty of trips to the free throw line. So ram it. Let's go Rams. Horns up tomorrow.
I think you guys are buying high when Dayton is available low. I think he played
VCU -7 is a respectable number from what they usually lay, especially at home. I mean, they lay fat numbers. But they haven't been covering, so now it's getting low. Now we buy in on VCU.
I think you played.
Everyone's gonna like Dayton at 7. They're gonna bounce back.
Everyone in the world in this room is selecting VCU.
What do I see? 1, 2, 3 sharps in a square.
I think you take Dayton here, but I'm not betting it, and I don't know enough about these teams to really weigh in an opinion. But
exactly, you just want to come in. Oh, Dayton. This ain't the 2020 Dayton Flyers, buddy.
You were the one just telling us it was your top player.
I was gonna say, hold on.
That was the no. You know me, I'm a spot better. That was the spot of all spots. You couldn't have crafted up a better spot. I mean, back-to-back road losses coming home with a team that just had back-to-back wins over Washington and Rhode Island or Mason, and then hit the road. Come on.
It's just interesting hearing you tell me how bad Dayton is. When just a few days ago, you were literally on here saying Dayton is your favorite play of the day. And you laid a big number.
What have you done for me lately, Lee?
You laid like 8.5 in that game, too.
And you know what? They were up 15.
What do you win for that?
Did you bet it on 365? Did you get an early cash
out early or something?
Nope, I certainly did not.
Bradley, Northern Iowa. Any thoughts here?
So I think Northern Iowa is a spot that a lot of people would like to buy into. They've now won 2 of their last 3 games. This is a team a lot of people had high expectations for coming into this season, but I really think Bradley is just head and shoulders above them. I think this is a Bradley spot. I look at this getting more than a possession on the road versus a Northern Iowa team that really plays a slow pace, doesn't score the basketball that well. I think Bradley has an ability to just put a run on UNI that they might not be able to come back from. I think 3.5 is a ridiculous number to be getting here. Had the last 3 games not happened, Bradley would be laying 3.5. And I think this is a little bit of an overreaction to recency bias. I'm really close to moving on Bradley. I haven't done it yet.
So yeah, it looks like there are a couple 2.5s, but mostly 3.5 across the board here. Do you guys agree that this line's an overreaction to recency bias?
I don't know enough about. I can't make it that call. I leaned Northern Iowa personally, but just because of what Spoon said, that was kind of my thinking. That fact that I think that we thought that this team would be a little bit better, and some of the losses haven't been absolutely terrible. I mean, they lost to this Bradley team. They lost to Valpo on the road, Illinois State. I mean, a lot of these games are on the road. This game's finally at home, so that does help a little bit. But again, I don't know. This something's weird about this one for me.
TV Jones, any thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of like Northern Iowa here. They're at home on a Friday night. They just, won 2 out of the last 3. Lost in Carbondale, the Salukis. It's tough to win there. But excuse me. Now they come back and they got, Bradley here. Bradley playing great ball, but Northern Iowa went through a slump. I think they're kind of getting out of it. Yeah, I don't let that float around the internet. People get the wrong idea. I just think this is a nice spot at home for Northern Iowa to get her done. Bradley coming in, they got off the schneid with the win. 1, 2 out of 3. I think they get right here. Let's go Panthers.
Go Panthers. All right. So we got. Did you actually bet that? Because it doesn't sound like Spoon betted either.
I didn't bet it. No.
No,
I'm really close.
I haven't fired on anything yet for tomorrow.
That's the line I'm monitoring.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one. And okay. So before we even get into it, this is the side I want to be on. I'm just making sure there's nothing I'm missing. Is there injuries? Is there any aspect of this game that I'm not seeing? If not, it'll be Huskies for me in Madison Square Garden, a.k.a. Husky South.
It's called
I'd like to hear what TV Jones has to think on this game.
Yeah. All right. Now, dream scenario tomorrow. St. John's wins. We get Xavier as a fat dog, and Pitino gives one to his kid after he got 900 on him, and they just beat Hurley. That is the ideal scenario. But what's going to happen is Stores South is going to do Stores South, and UConn's going to win. When these lines have been -1, +1, in this neighborhood here, the better team wins. Home or road, doesn't matter. The better team wins. UConn's the better team. I know they haven't lost since November. But St. John's, the guard play is questionable. UConn playing really well. Mullins is back. I just think they're the better team. This is going to be a home game for them. They're going to get it done. And Pitino, 15 and 10 all time against UConn. Excuse me, UConn. He's 2-4 lifetime against Danny Hurley. So there's that. UConn 11-2 all time at the Garden. You got all these stats, but I just think better team. UConn going to find a way. Guard play will win. Ejiofor will do his thing, but Mullins and Caravan X Factor.
So just a breaking news here: Loyola Chicago Davidson circa is now down to a flat 11. It looks like Loyola Chicago money is flooding in right now. Pinnacle,
all right, boys, move! I'm going to do it. Oh, I'm going to hate myself.
Pinnacle just moved to a flat 11 right now as I was saying that. So either something happened or there's there's Loyola Chicago money coming in.
They're watching the show.
Yeah, we're moving it.
Hard Rock still has the 12.5 -110, by the way.
Hard Rock slow to the movement. Get out. All right, so we know Toast is going to.
That's my one bet for tomorrow. Loyola Chicago +11.
So we know that Toast is going to take St. John's. So Spoon, we already know he is.
This is a huge game. St. John's versus Connecticut. So Trevor alluded to this. He called it Stores South. They're playing this game in MSG. There will be a ton of UConn fans in this building. I might even go as far to say as there'll be more UConn fans than St. John's fans. 60-40. I don't know that that's the truth, but it'll be a very healthy mix. It's not going to be a huge home court atmosphere for St. John's, so I don't really think that should be baked into this game. And I think if you get down to the nitty-gritty of this, UConn is the better team on paper. They present themselves to be the better team with the prospects that they bring to the next level. I think Solo Ball still is dealing with a wrist injury. I don't think this is the best spot for him. Like, you think about like NBA players, it's just recently the trade deadline. Where do you want to go in the NBA? You want to go to big markets. You want to go to the biggest spots. This is Madison Square Garden. This is the biggest spot you can play as a college kid, especially if you're in the Big East. And this is St. John's versus Dan Hurley. And when St. John's hired Pitino, this was a 6-year contract to 2029. But when he signed it, he said it was going to be 3 years, and we'll figure out where we're at. If St. John's is a successful program through then, and I have a good 3 years, we'll reevaluate and see if I can continue going. This is the kind of game that I think Pitino has circled. Like, if I can get over Dan Hurley is the coach, the guy that's won 2 national championships in the last few years. There's no bigger coach. This is the spot that you have circled. If you can win this game, this is it. And I think if he doesn't win this game and St. John's has a bad rest of the year, I think this is all she wrote for Pitino. I think he goes out, and I'm going to be on St. John's.
What?
I'm going to wait for UConn to go on a run tomorrow. I'm going to live bet this game. I'm going to watch every second of this game. I'm going to love it. I think St. John's is going to go down probably 2 possessions early on in this basketball game, and I'm going to get a money line and a spread at that point. I'm not going to go into it with any action, but UConn's the better team. They have a little bit of a 3-point shooting edge. I think a lot of people are going to make a bigger edge than there is. I mean, St. John's is in the top 75 teams in the country with 3-point shooting at this point in the season. This team plays better defense they have size inside that's really going to challenge UConn. One thing that's set UConn apart from almost every team they played this season is their ability to dominate inside with Reed and Caravan. And you're not going to be able to do that tomorrow versus St. John's. You have some really upper-class big men between Evansville and Hopkins. And you have some NBA-level talent with Mitchell and this is a really good St. John's team. I'm really excited to watch this game tomorrow. If I'm going into it and I was going to place a ticket, it would be on St. John's. I just know I'm going to get a better number as soon as UConn hits a couple threes early on.
That sounds like some nonsense. You have to price this game.
So seriously, the Big East will fall apart if UConn wins this game tomorrow because they need St. John's to be one of the best teams in this conference. Dan Hurley knows that. Dan Hurley wants the Big East to be one of the best conferences in basketball. They only exist as a good conference because of what they bring to the basketball level. If you don't have 6 to 8 teams performing at a great level in the Big East every year, it's going to fall off. And you need Patino in the Big East right now if you're Hurley. You need the heel if you're the good guy. And I think this is a spot where St. John's finds a way to win an amazing game.
Yeah, someone said in the comments, tinfoil hat. That Dan Hurley wants to lose for the good of the Big East. Get the hell out of here. You have to price this game as if it's a neutral court because it is. UConn is just many.
No, it is not. I promise you.
You promise?
This will be 60-40 minimum UConn.
You promise?
Promise. Pinky.
No, I'm saying
St. John's plays better on the road anyway.
I'm telling you to price it as a neutral court, and you're saying no, 64. Yeah, neutral court. It's a neutral court.
He's saying past neutral.
Well,
he's saying
60-40 is more. 60-40 is not neutral. It's a little favored to one side.
All right,
it's kind of like when the Cubs go play the Brewers. Like, it's all Cubs fans up in Milwaukee, but they still call it.
Hey, buddy. Hey, pipe down, pipe down, pipe down. Who knocked you out of the playoffs? Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear that shit. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're worried about regular season games. We're worried about winning playoff games, all right? Some of you have,
how'd that work out?
No idea.
Yeah, you guys lost in the playoffs.
Can't wait to see Mizorowski with his Dodgers World Series championship ring.
I can't wait to see the Brewers knock the Cubs out of the playoffs again next year. All right, here's what's going to happen. Cubs will get hot. They'll start the year hot. Brewers will look like shit. Oh, they don't have any guys. Oh, this young core isn't it. We get Brewers 11-1 to win the division yet again, and then you just watch throughout the summer. Here we come. Cubs will fail. Brewers will be here yet again, winning the division and going to the playoffs, and people will be sitting here like, how do they do it? It's just what we do every year. Okay. I'm telling you, you get 11-1 Brewers at one point. Take it, and I'll see you at the window.
Coming from the guy that literally was saying Brewers need to sell the farm when they started off like 6-10.
And then what happened? I lit a fire under there. I got to find that clip, and I got to get the record after that because I lit a fire under their ass.
Trevor, it was 4 games into the season. The record's probably pretty easy to figure out.
No, the first 4 games were Yankees in their corked bats, which still hasn't been proven. Have they dissected the bats? Nope. Just Yankees were not even going to bother with it, but they were corked.
Toast.
27 runs. Yeah, no juicing going on here.
We know St. John's. We already know. Tell us about how good St. John's has been. And they have been playing good. No one's arguing that St. John's looks very good. No question.
I can't make that type of argument and then have UConn on the other side who has one loss.
Exactly.
Well, I wasn't trying to make it. You were
about to say it. I be-rabbited you. You were about to say that, and
No, you didn't. You didn't be-rabbit me. I promise. I was going to talk about 3-point shooting because I think the 3-point shooting is what it's going to come down to. Because obviously, both of these teams play here all the time. I don't really put too much stock into Store South or anything like that, regardless. But UConn has been able to, for the most part of the year, they've had 2 bad games shooting the 3 ball at home or on the road, quote unquote, or on neutrals. And I mean, the 2 games were Seton Hall and in Georgetown. And I just feel like if you take a look, and then if you take a look at St. John's, they've actually have been okay shooting the 3 ball. They have a couple of disgusting performances, yes. They don't shoot it a lot, but they actually have been okay shooting the 3 ball. And defensively, they've been really good at limiting other teams to get the 3 ball. And so that's what I think the difference in this game is. because I agree with Spoon as far as solo ball is concerned. He hasn't done anything since New Year's. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know if they're just kind of hanging out, if he's just hanging out or what. But I mean, I think there was, when I was looking at it earlier today, there was like 1 or 2 games that he was really impressive in. And besides that, it's a whole bunch of just kind of meh. So maybe he steps up for this game. I don't know, but I think that St. John's can play with them inside. And I do think this is a little bit bigger game for St. John's. So I don't wear the same tinfoil hat as Spoon. I don't ever think that Hurley would want to lose for the betterment of the Big East, but I do want to bet St. John's. Caesars has a 2 right now. I just have a hard time believing UConn money doesn't come in. It hasn't really done anything yet. I just kind of want to watch. I would much rather have at least 2.5 in my hand. So like I said, I haven't bet it. I'd really like to bet St. John's, but I need at least 2.5.
You're gonna need more than
the
that.
fact that Kyle hasn't already bet this shows how scared he is of St. John's and that tinfoil hat that I'm
betting
wearing.
it right now. Jesus, I was waiting for you guys to finish your spiel.
Hey, if UConn just so happens to lose one tomorrow, fine, so be it. You know how we get our coin back? Xavier money line immediately after. It's a foolproof system. It's literally the win.
It's not foolproof.
System. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You either win right away with UConn, or you win when we take Xavier money line, because St. John's is not winning both of these games.
Somebody in the comments mentioned the under. Yeah, under. If it's like, I don't know, is it 144.5? Yeah, 144.5. Yeah, I know 2 people that have taken that. I don't know who said that in the comments, but I know a couple people that are a lot sharper than me on that play.
So basically anybody. All right,
That's who I talked to.
Here's the thing: UConn hasn't been covering either. They're laying ridiculous numbers.
Exactly.
No, they have to do is win the game in a home court environment.
Well, these,
what are we doing? Don't get cute. Don't get cute. Fake sharp.
I
Fake
agree.
sharp.
Stevie Jones, I agree with you. If this was like UConn -4, -4.5, okay, I could see it. I'm talking about you got to win the game, and there's just no way on a neutral court you're going to tell me St. John's is better than UConn. That's freaking crazy.
Preach, brother, preach.
Drake, Illinois State. Spoon, is there any coaches that want to secretly lose here for the betterment of the Mountain Athletic Center division or whatever?
I will sit there and ride that for the rest of the season, especially when St. John's wins tomorrow. I know it sounds a little bit like a crackpot theory, but like I said, I didn't bet it yet. I'm going to wait for a +200 money line that I'll post. I'll be all excited about it, and it'll come with like a big spread attached to it.
When you
Illinois State's a really good team.
When you
Drake
take
is really
St.
good.
John's money line live, can you put it on Twitter so I could click the like button and have a screenshot of it?
Yeah, no, but you got to make a comment so you can get in with the comment section and ride the next 978 comments when UConn goes up by 8 and they're like, oh, it's over. And then the exact opposite when St. John's comes back. This is a wild game tomorrow. Illinois State to be laying 10 is a little bit disrespectful to Drake and this program. I would really like to get there with Drake. I haven't been able to pull the trigger at this point. Illinois State finished out the season last year as good as you could. They went to a smaller conference or a smaller tournament. I think it was the Crown tournament, and they ended up winning it out. They came into this season bringing back a lot of the players from last season, and that ability to just like play with the same players has shown itself in a lot of big wins. But I don't think 10 points is an appropriate number for this game. I think it should be closer to 8. And at this number, I would play it with Drake, but I just haven't gotten there yet.
TV Jones, do you agree 10's too many?
No, I kind of get it. I mean, Illinois State beat them handily the first time they played. Sorry, just trying to find Illinois State.
73-56.
Yep, thank you. 73-56. I mean, they were 13 of 23 from 3, so they were really hot, but they still had 23 turnovers, and that still produced nothing for Drake. And that was in Iowa. Now you got Illinois State coming in off of the loss to Southern Illinois. They're contending, or trying to, and then Drake just hasn't been good. They had a little win there, Murray State, Indiana State, Evansville. Bradley, Belmont dropped both of these games, lost by 14 and 13, one home, one on the road. Now you get to play Illinois State off of a loss, a team that's already beat you when they turn it over 23 times, beat you by 17 points or whatever it was. I just think it's a bad matchup for Drake. I'll take Illinois State at home off of a loss to bounce back and just dominate Drake again.
So this number has come down since I made the graphics. Pinnacle is still at 10, but there's actually flat 9s available now.
Yeah, I think Drake will take money probably down to like 8-ish, but I just think people are betting Drake on their name. They're not good. They're not good. This is a bad team. Illinois State.
Well, I'm sure it's part of that. I agree with that, but I also feel like you're going to see, I mean, the first time that these two teams played, we saw 66 possessions, and like you said, Illinois State turned it over 23 times. I would assume they have a better plan of attack in this one. It would only be Drake for me. And the only reason I say that is because I just feel like the possessions aren't going to be there. Neither one of these teams like to get up and go. I would assume they both have a game plan, and if I'm Illinois State, I'm going to figure out a way not to turn the basketball over. That's for sure. So I don't know if they're capable of doing that, but it's not like they have terrible turnover numbers across the board. So yeah, I came into this game thinking that I was going to want to bet Illinois State. Again, it's a small slate, but yeah, it would only be Drake for me. I just think the possession battle is going to be really hard to beat.
Doesn't sound like any of you guys really like that one, though. All right, let's move on.
Nah, it's not my favorite on the board.
Evansville Valparaiso.
Valpo.
Spoon, your thoughts?
I think this is a Valpo spot. This is a team I have loved to fade over the past few seasons. I think they have like 13 wins in conference over the past 3 seasons coming into this year. Trying to fade Valpo this year has been a tricky task. I have not been successful doing it. I don't think I've won a single bet with a Valparaiso attached to it this season. It's all been trying to fade them, though. And I think this number is short versus Evansville. I think this Valparaiso team is much better than a lot of people like myself try to give them credit for. I think they can win this game by more than 15 points, 16 points. I would set the number closer to 14. This number on KenPom sits at 12. I saw 10.5, 11s is what we see on screen. I think there's just a disrespect attached to Valpo's name. If we just look at what they've done in conference versus some of the better teams, they beat Illinois State by 6 points already this season. That was at home. They beat Illinois Chicago, a team that's gone on a huge run in this conference already. They beat Northern Illinois. They beat the Salukis. They took Belmont to a 1-point game, the best team in this conference, and I don't really think it's that close. So I think this number is a little bit disrespectful to Valparaiso. I'm probably going to stay off this game just because I don't have a great handle on this team, and it seems like whatever I think about this team, they're probably going to do the opposite. But I think they win this game in blowout fashion.
I should probably mention that the number has since come down since I made the graphics. This is another one. We're seeing movements everywhere. By the way, the Davidson number is still coming down. It looks like it's now the flat 11 is now juiced towards the Loyola Chicago side. It might even come down to 10.5. This one has dropped to 9.5. So this is another one that has moved since we've started the show. A lot of movement on these.
Spoon, did you know that Bryce Drew and Homer Drew and all those guys are assistant coaches on this team, on this Valpo team? I didn't know that until today.
You mean
I had no idea.
You the Baylor guy?
No, well, his brother, I think.
So
his brother?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Related
the
to-
Grand Canyon brother.
Yeah, he coached Vandy and Grand Canyon for a long time and then got canned.
So this,
But anyway,
the coach of Valpo is the Baylor guy's brother?
he's an assistant. The head coach is a former Gonzaga coach.
Oh, okay.
The coach of Grand Canyon is the Baylor guy's brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's got 2 brothers?
Yeah, there's Homer,
Homer's the
Scott.
Well, that's the dad. Oh.
Okay, that's what it is. That's right. So Homer, Scott, and Bryce. Yeah.
And they're all coaches in college basketball.
Yep.
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
Basketball fan.
I lean Valpo here. I think they're significantly the better team. And if you, I mean, again, I only really looked at this game because it was such a short slate. But I mean, I counted 3 games since the beginning of the new year that Evansville played in a game that wasn't under 10 or they didn't lose under 10 points. So again, it would only be Valpo for me. I don't really have much interest in it, but I don't know why the Evansville money is coming in. That's for sure.
I like this comment from Pays and Plays podcast. He goes, I literally just went and set up a Hard Rock account just to bet Loyola at plus 12.5.
Touche.
Full disclosure, I still have access to Hard Rock. I bet that 12.5 very happily.
Yeah. There's still, it's down to minus 103. Yeah, it's about to drop to 10.5. That line is on the move. TV Jones.
Yeah, Valpo are my darlings. I love these boys. You know, they've paid up pretty nicely this year. They've been a good team. Coming off of a loss to Bradley here on the road. Now they're back home. Evansville's not a good team. They just lost by 21 to Indiana State. Northern Iowa, who couldn't beat anyone, and they play so slow, beat them by 16. They lost to Drake by 4, but Illinois Chicago beat them by 17. I mean, their losses are all double digits and hefty ones. Valparaiso's been a good team here. They're not contending for first place or anything, but you know they're doing pretty well for their standards. This is a fat number. I'm not really sure the last time Valpo laid 11, but Evansville is pretty damn bad. They're without their best player. I'm pretty sure, unless he came back within the last game or two. Evansville or Valpo off of a loss back home. Evansville just continually going through the turnbuckle and getting their ass kicked. I think they hit another one tomorrow. So Valpo, let's go. Deacons or Beacons, whatever the hell you are. Let's go.
Someone said it's 9.5 on FanDuel. Yeah, it's 9.5 everywhere. The graphics were made a couple hours ago. These guys are saying they like Valpo at 9.5. The graphic is...
Yeah, I'll let people bet it down. I think people will, just because it's a ridiculous number of the Valpo, but I think it's ridiculous for a reason.
It's now, by the way, Davidson now down to it's down to 10.5. Juice to the Loyola Chicago side, so it might even keep coming. Free falling, looking like Bitcoin. Next. Too soon.
Not for me. I don't care.
Yeah, me neither. Next up, Murray State against the this team that Spoon always likes to talk about, the Salukas. Go ahead, Spoon.
I guess that means I go first here.
You like
this I know this team looks bad on paper. They're sitting 4-8 in conference, but there is no easy win versus this Southern Illinois team. And I think that's why this line is so short. For them to be laying 1 at home versus Murray is a little bit appealing to my eyes. If we go back just a few games, Murray State was sitting 8-0 in conference. And Southern Illinois was sitting 2-7 in conference. So I don't think under regular recency bias we would be laying 1 point with Southern Illinois here. So I think just under market circumstances, you should have to get to Murray here. I think there's an over adjustment after losing a few straight games. They got a huge win versus Illinois Chicago, a team that's played really great in conference play. But I just can't fade my Salukis. I think this is a team that finds a way to win. I think I should be able to get them at plus money here at home, and I'm not going to play them without the plus money, so I'm off this game right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are UConn minus 2.5 flashing. We are seeing Huskies money. You hate to see it, guys. Sorry, St. John's betters. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna let that go.
You know, I just got money line's not open. I got UConn minus 1.5 here.
Just calm down, Trevor.
I went unit and a half. I went unit and a half on UConn. I wouldn't have much else.
Trevor, are you an Oklahoma State believer?
Who has been the guy that's been talking about Oklahoma State all year? Me. This guy? No. I'm the Oklahoma State guy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm the Oklahoma State guy.
Yeah, you must be the other guy.
Yeah, Spoon took what are we talking about Oklahoma State? What is this? We're talking about Murray State, TV Jones. I don't know why Toast asked you about it.
Because you said the same thing when you bet BYU and you got 2 points at CLV. That's why I asked if he was a believer in Oklahoma State. Go ahead, TV Jones.
Outlier.
I am. Texas A&M, you didn't believe in them. They should have won the game.
Trevor,
Hit
I
my
never bet
40.
against them. The rule is the over, and it cashed. I don't make the rules, or I made the rule.
You make the rules.
No, I think this is similar to the UConn spot. Just take the better team. I know Southern Illinois and Carbondale, really, really good team here, but Murray's the better team. They went through a skid. They got off the schneid with a win. I think they're back. I think you just take the better team. We're getting a discounted line here with the pick'em, basically. I'll take Murray State. I think they're the better team. I think they go on the road Friday night, beat these Salukis in Carbondale, and start to get back on track here coming down the stretch.
Mason Miller missed the last game and half of the game before that for Murray State. He's a really good three-point shooter. Came over from power conferences. So that's a big loss for Murray State. Just realized that here. Makes me want to back the Salukis that much more.
I thought you said Murray State. You said Salukis here?
It's just the market value. Like, Murray State should be laying points here. Why are they a dog? Yeah. It's just
because I don't think that Murray State is.
I just can't do it with this market price.
Toast, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I want to bet Southern Illinois. I don't know if I want to lay 1.5 or 1 with them.
Judging by what you guys are saying, then it should move towards Murray State. If you're saying Murray State's the better team.
You would assume. I just think that Southern Illinois, especially at home, is a little bit of a different animal. I mean, obviously they lost to Belmont in a game that they could have won that game, and then the game before that they lost to Drake. That was in overtime. Drake isn't nearly what Murray State is, but regardless, I mean, they've been pretty good at home. They've had their struggles on the road, but I just don't think there's as big of a difference between these two teams as people are making them out to be. Not you guys specifically, but I would only lean Southern Illinois here. I think they're playing better basketball. Yes, they've had some road losses and stuff like that too, but I just think they're playing better and probably the better team right now. So it would only be Southern Illinois for me.
Yeah, I'm good on this one. Maybe if it moves, but judging by what you guys are saying, it seems like Murray State should close as favorites.
And these two teams played before, and it was a 3-point game, and both of them had like the same numbers. They both shot 37% from three, and then obviously Murray State shot just a little bit better from 2-point land. But besides that, I mean, it was pretty even, so there wasn't anything crazy on either side either.
All right, one last game.
I got Murray at a pick'em.
One last game, and then I'm going to talk some NBA.
Hey, also, how did the 76ers not cover 3? Weren't they up like 20?
Warriors came back and won, I think.
Game of runs.
I don't know. I didn't bet any NBA tonight.
So the NBA is not so easy anymore, Trevor?
Whatever, I had one loss.
He waltzed in.
Hold on. Let's take a gander at what I know. It's ridiculous. NBA, where you at? Get over here. Okay. Here we go. 55 and 37. 55 and 37 on the NBA. All right. How about them apples? All right. Easy sport. Actually, 16.8 units now.
Belmont.
But still.
Chicago. Last game up. Who wants to talk about it?
Man. This is a hard game for me. I like playing Belmont at home. Not that they're a bad team on the road or anything like that, but I just feel like this is kind of like Chicago or Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, whatever. Kind of like their Super Bowl. I mean, this is the biggest game left on their schedule, the whole 9 yards. I would expect them to be up here. It would only be Illinois, Chicago for me, but I don't know if I can actually do it. Belmont's just a pretty damn good team. I mean, they're 11-2 in conference. I think they're by far the best team in the Missouri Valley. So Illinois State's fighting, or Chicago, Illinois is fighting, but I don't think they're going to get there. It would only be Illinois, Chicago for me.
Depending on what side you like, you can get a 2.5 on the Belmont side if you're trying to take Belmont. You could also get a plus 3.5 if you shop around on the Illinois, Chicago side. Either you guys have thoughts, or should I talk NBA?
I like UIC too. Belmont coming in really hot, back-to-back 103 games, point games at home. But UIC here at home off of a loss to Murray State. On the road, they played 3 of the last 4, but on the road they're back home. They had a nice stretch there, just did a hiccup. I think they come back at a big win against Belmont. Belmont hitting the road gonna struggle a little bit here. I think UIC slows it down and doesn't allow such a frantic pace. Doesn't give Belmont such open shots. So UIC may not look pretty on paper, but this team's got grit, they got heart, and they find a way to get it done. So let's go, flame up, baby.
And they can play defense.
Spoon, where do you think this line closes?
Yeah.
So I have questions in this game about Elijah Crawford. In that last game there, got in a little bit of a tussle versus Murray State. He's UIC's probably best player. Threw punches in that game. So I think there's a pending suspension, and I didn't see anything about his eligibility for this game. So my initial thought is this number is really short. So I'm like, he has to be playing. But at the same time, I don't see anything official. I don't think that is out there at this point. Belmont is one of the better teams in the conference. They've had to deal with some injuries. McLean, their point guard coming into the season, left early pretty on, but this team still has found ways to win. UIC has had a really nice story coming down the stretch. I've been a fan of this coach now for years, and he's found a way to win games he shouldn't have, but I think this number has just finally come too far. I think this should be Belmont -5, even with that player in, and I have serious questions about Crawford's availability for this game. So without further research, I'm not going to move, but it's only Belmont for me.
I can't find anything on Elijah Crawford possibly getting suspended, but it says you sounded like you already looked for it.
Yeah, I looked too. He played 1 minute versus Murray State or whatever.
It was a 1 minute where he threw the punch.
Yeah. No, I know.
I have it right here. 1 minute and 15 seconds into the game, and then he never came back in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, so he might not.
No, so like it was a full on punch. They like
he kicked out.
I'm looking at it right here. Yeah, he took a swing. All right, so
but you would think there would be at least something that says anything. But
it's NCAA basketball. They don't.
No, I was just about
anything.
So
They'll get sued.
Spoon, if Crawford is ruled out, you can see this going up to 5.5.
Yes.
Easily. Yes.
All right, so what are we doing? Why aren't you moved on it? If he doesn't play, you say you still kind of like it if he plays. I don't like how you're not confident. I kind of like what you said, though. Like, there's a chance that's the market's not fully aware that he might be suspended. I don't think that's crazy.
So I haven't exhausted every resource I can to look into this, and I don't like moving without as much information as I can possibly have on something like this. It's 12:52 in the morning. I still have more time to figure this out before everybody else figures it out. I'm going to keep looking. I very well might wind up with a Belmont bet, but I just think if he does play, there's also people waiting for this information on the other side that are really excited to bet UIC. This number's already really short. If that information comes out, I don't want to be on the other side of that thinking I'm like sharp and just wind up being fake sharp and watching the line move the other way. I just want a little bit more information.
All right. Well, let keep me posted. I'm down to try to get on a good number with that information with you. All right. I'm going to talk NBA.
What's the are you guys streaming tomorrow or? Yeah,
we'll do a Saturday show. You want to come?
You're good. Well, we have ours. What time are you going?
We did midnight last week. We kind of play it by ear on Saturdays, but yeah, that's what I think so. But yeah, your show's at 10 p.m. Eastern.
We're going at 10:30 Eastern tomorrow.
So their show will be on before and after ours. So
yeah,
that's how it went last week at least. So. All right.
And then Saturday morning, me and Huff are doing a live stream for the Wisconsin-Indiana game. So hop in and sweat bets with us in the chat.
And that's the name of it.
My Badgers kick his ass.
I just put Pump Fake Pod, typed it. It's just like that. That's the name of the channel on YouTube. All right. I'm going to talk some NBA. Talk to you guys
later, fellas. Best of luck.
All right. I only have one NBA bet. Actually, it looked like I might have gotten on a good number too. We'll see. I don't know. I somehow I'm up in the NBA this year. Haven't really felt like I've been operating with much of an edge, but hey, I suppose being up is a good thing. All right. Trying to get there we go. Knicks Pistons rematch of the playoff series. This was awesome last year. I'm a Knicks fan, as you guys know. Jalen Brunson hits the game-winning three with 4 seconds left in Detroit to put the Pistons to sleep. It was a very, very cool moment. Now, these teams have met already this year. This isn't their first matchup since that series. They met back on January 5th. This was during remember when the Knicks were missing Josh Hart and the Knicks were losing? They went, I think it was 2-9 over 11-game span. Their defense was terrible while Josh Hart was out. That was during this span. They saw the Pistons in Detroit, got destroyed. So the Knicks were losing to everybody during this span. I'm not saying we throw the data point out. I'm just saying we do have to mention that the Knicks were losing to literally every single team they played during that span. Obviously, the Knicks right now operating at a little bit of a different level. They've won 8 consecutive games, 8-0 against the spread. Defensive rating at 98.3 is crazy. They went from the worst defense in the NBA during that span. Josh Hart comes back from injury, and then all of a sudden they're the best defense in the NBA. Now, you do have to consider the opponents. The Nets, the Sixers are okay. The Kings, Raptors don't have an offense. Portland's offense fell off. Lakers, Wizards. Then you got the Nuggets. And actually, Josh Hart didn't play in the Nuggets game, but the Knicks still played a pretty solid defensive game. The Nuggets ended up scoring a bunch of points because it went to double overtime, but the Knicks played a pretty solid defensive game there against the Nuggets. So this Knicks defense is operating at a much higher level than it was a few weeks ago. Now, Detroit that's the betting league stuff. Detroit hasn't had problems on the second leg of back-to-backs this year. They're 7-1 straight up, 4-4 against the spread. In fact, we just saw the Pistons go to Golden State with no rest. That was just probably about a week ago. We saw the Pistons go into Golden State with no rest and beat the Warriors in Golden State. So a real nice road win on 0 days rest. Now, that was the Warriors without Jimmy Butler. Not exactly the toughest opponent, but still solid road win there for Detroit. The question is, are we calling the Knicks defense good now? Because injuries are a concern in this game, and we're about to talk about the injury report that's going on in this one. Have we seen enough to say, okay, New York has a good defense? Because we're talking about, like a 9-game span now where the Knicks have been playing elite defense. So is that enough for us to start pricing the Knicks out at an elite defense? If it is, this should be a problem for the Pistons. We've seen really good defenses give Detroit problems. They've played 6 games against elite defenses since January 1st. That's why I chose 6. I cut it off at the new year. So they've played 6 games against top 10 defenses since January 1st, just 1-5 against the spread, 107.8 offensive rating. So we've seen good defenses give this Pistons offense problems. It's kind of been the concern with the Pistons this year is that the offense is a little stale. I trust the rebounding. I trust their physicality. I trust the defense. I trust them to get out in transition. They can play defense in the half court. They can get out and run on offense. There's a lot of aspects of this Pistons team I like. I don't really trust their half court offense, which is kind of what the Knicks make you do. They play slow pace. They make you play half court basketball because New York feels if they get you into a game, half court offense against half court defense, New York feels they're the best team in the NBA or one of the best teams in the NBA in that type of game. And so I feel like that puts Detroit into the type of basketball game that isn't exactly what they want to play. They want to play fast. Now, the injury report makes this one impossible, right? I mean, is Cade Cunningham going to play? Is Tobias Harris going to play? Is Jalen Duren going to play? Now, as of right now, we're not sure. Cade Cunningham was listed as questionable, but he played tonight against the Wizards. Tobias Harris was listed as questionable. He didn't play tonight against the Wizards. And Jalen Duren wasn't even on the injury report, but he left the Wizards game hurt tonight. So is Cade Cunningham, who's dealing with, I believe he's dealing with a wrist injury right now, is he going to play on a back-to-back? You never know if a guy's dealing with an injury, if they're going to play on a back-to-back. So we don't know who's going to play here on the Detroit side, and then copy and paste that over to the New York side. Josh Hart didn't play against Denver. I think OG Anunoby is going to play, though. So this graphic shows him questionable. I'm actually reading that he's probable. So I think we're good on Anunoby. But Karl Anthony Towns is dealing with an injury. Josh Hart didn't play against Denver, like I said. Is Jose Alvarado going to make his Knicks debut? We don't know. So a couple serious injury question marks on either side. At first, when I first looked at this one, I was like, you got to lean Knicks here. But when I was looking, the number was Knicks plus 1.5. The Knicks are now laying 1.5, and it actually looks like it's still moving. I'm seeing a juiced 1.5 now at certain spots. So actually, I think now, based on what the line's done, I kind of would lean back. I would like to play. Give me a full possession with the Pistons. Give me an overreaction to the Wizards' loss. Give me the Knicks without Josh Hart. I don't have a bet on this game, but the way I could possibly have some money on this game is if Josh Hart's not going to play, if the market overreacts to the loss against the Wizards and that numbers get pushed up a little bit too high. Give me the Knicks give me the Pistons +2.5, +3 at home. Give me an overreaction play back on Detroit. So that's probably what I would do, but I don't have a bet on this game. Heat, Celtics. So this is the game I bet. So it must have moved shortly after I bet it. So I'm on Heat +7.5 -105. So at the moment, now still plenty of time for this number to get screwed. At the moment, it's looking like I placed a good one. We'll have to wait and see. So I'm on Heat +7.5 -105. And that's the NBA bet I've placed. So look, it's tough to really hammer some things down here in this game. The Heat are in pretty good shape. They've played the last 3 games without Norman Powell. So getting him back is huge. Other than Tyler Hero being out, Miami's completely healthy right now. And honestly, based on what we've seen from Miami in the games Tyler Hero has played, I'm not even sure if you really want him in there for a 1-game sample. Obviously, moving forward, you want Tyler Hero on the court, but the Heat haven't really played great when he has been in the lineup. So Tyler Hero being out doesn't really move the needle as far as betting a 1-game sample here. So the Heat are in good shape. Now, it looks like Vucevic is going to make his Celtics debut here, barring any setbacks. I don't know that for 100% certainty, but I believe Vucevic is going to make his Celtics debut. Other than that, Boston's in pretty good shape. I'm not sure. Is there an adjustment period throwing Vucevic into the lineup? I think the main thing you have to point out here with the Celtics. So Boston's been great. In fact, in the last 10 games, they're a top 5 offensive and defensive team. So the Celtics they've been playing great basketball on both sides of the ball. What I have to question for Boston, and I think it's a valid question, at some point, we have to acknowledge that this team has played the biggest cupcake schedule recently. They're actually dead last in strength of schedule in their last 10 games, and they're on a little bit of a 12-game hot streak. I believe they're 9-3 in their last 12 games. Want to know who they played? They played the Heat, so there's one. The Hawks. You got the Pistons in there. That's solid. Look at their most recent 8 or 9 games here. The Pacers, the Nets, the Bulls, the Blazers, the Hawks, the Kings, the Bucks, the Mavericks, and then the Rockets they just played. So they've played a lot of games against bad teams. I feel like that's something we have to at least acknowledge here with Boston is they played a super easy schedule. At some point, we're going to reach a sell high point with this Boston Celtics team. Now, is this that point? I'm not sure. The problem with Miami is they've got to be the most inconsistent team in the look at the game logs here from the Heat in the last 11 games. So you see the middle column, offensive rating, that's their offensive efficiency for that game. So that's points per 100 possessions. That's how offensive efficiency is measured. So look at this. We're talking about elite offensive game followed by terrible offensive game, followed by elite offensive game, followed by terrible offensive game. There's just no middle ground with this team. They're either red hot or they're ice cold. And then look at the defensive efficiency. Kind of the same thing. There's just no consistency with this team. They're either going to be lights out or they're going to be absolutely terrible. In fact, there's not even one average data point here on the offensive or defensive side, which makes trying to price this team out insane. They're so inconsistent. One thing that is consistent here, look at the pace. If there's one thing we can hang our hats on with this Miami Heat team is they're going to run. They are the fastest paced team in the NBA. Now, that should play into the strength for Boston. They've been pretty good in these games, in their last 10 games against opponents with a pace over 101. So that'd be against the fastest pace opponents in the NBA. They're 7-3 straight up, 6-4 against the spread, a 109.3 defensive rating. So we've seen Boston have success in these types of matchups, slow these fast-paced teams down, make them try to score on Boston in the half court. They've had success with that. They actually just had success with that against Miami. They played the Heat back on January 15th. There was only 193 total possessions in that game. 193. That's way less than we normally see in a Miami Heat game. So we've seen them do the same thing to Miami. The question I have is, and I think this is a very valid question. Obviously, I'm a Knicks fan. I don't like the Celtics. But I think this is a very valid question. For this game only, okay, we see Boston force these fast-paced teams to play offense in the half court. All right, well, your rim protector is now Vucevic, who's never played with the team before, who's not even the best. Like, it's not even Vucevic, a great interior defender. What if Miami's cool with that? Like, all right, we usually don't like to run our offense in the half court, but if you're going to have Vucevic in there as your main rim protector, I think Miami can still score on Boston. And I think we're looking at a sell high on Boston. One thing I will say, though, and this is why I'm a little hesitant, Miami has struggled against the three-point shot, and that's what the Celtics do. So, yeah, I'm not crazy about it, but right now it's down to 6.5, 7, so it's looking like I might have made a decent bet. But I think the Heat, when they bring their best fastball, definitely could even win this game. Obviously, there's a chance that Boston gets hot from 3. But, yeah, I bet this one. Heat plus 7.5. Pacers, Bucks. The rest of the games, man, I don't know. We could just pull up some lineups and talk for a second, but I have no freaking idea, man. And I'm going to drive myself crazy trying to figure this out. Now, these are probably opportunities where you can find some really nice numbers to get on. But I didn't. You guys know that I've been kind of big on the Pacers the last couple weeks. When they got healthy, I was like, oh, guys, this team isn't nearly as bad as their record shows. I've talked about it several times. So if you watch this channel, you know that I've been betting on the Pacers and having some success betting on the Pacers. Well, they kind of just sold, man. I mean, Mathurin is now gone. Isaiah Jackson's gone, who plays key minutes for them. He's kind of a key piece a part of that second unit. He is now gone. They brought in Zubats from the Clippers, who is an upgrade. Like, that's been the problem for the Pacers, is they don't really have a true 5. They don't have a true big, and they don't have a real presence in the paint. And now I like Zubats. Zubats is a good player. So it's not that I hate the move or anything, but I don't think Zubats is playing in this game. And losing Mathurin kind of sucks. I like Mathurin a lot, and he's kind of a guy that they can give the basketball to and generate some offense out of nothing. So without Mathurin, I don't really know if I trust the Pacers offense. Without Zubats playing yet, I still don't trust them to stop anybody under the basket. But at the same time, I mean, I don't even know if Bobby Portis is playing in this game. We've got question marks all over the Milwaukee side as well. So obviously there's no Giannis. Kevin Porter Jr. is back, though, which is big for the Bucks. The Bucks have actually won 2 games in a row. They've actually beat the Pacers twice already this year. Bobby Portis is questionable. Gary Harris is questionable. I have no idea, guys. I kind of would lean towards the Bucks. With Mathurin gone and with Isaiah Jackson gone, those are 2 key players for this Pacers team. So now we're talking about, okay, the Pacers have been playing better, but you're talking about you just removed 2 key pieces, replaced it with nobody, going on the road, and Miles Turner looking to get his revenge for the 3rd straight time. Not sure where the points are coming from here for the Pacers. And without Zubats, without Isaiah Jackson, is Jay Huff going to hold it down under the basket? There's just this is a bad team. So I'll put Bucks up because that would be my pick. But dude, I have no idea. I have no clue. And then the only other game I wanted to talk about, I skipped the next 2. The only game I wanted to talk about was, I have nothing for these next 2. Nothing. But we can talk about this one for a second. I kind of like this new look Clippers team, I got to say. It's just we're not going to see any of them in this game. So for those, there's the depth chart, the new Clippers depth chart for those of you that haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet. Obviously, James Harden has played well, and it's certainly a key loss, a notable, something that needs to be talked about. But I don't think it's crazy to say that this Clippers team is better. And yeah, losing Zubac sucks, but you know what? Brook Lopez is really solid. I'm still surprised the Bucks got rid of him. I thought he was a very underrated part of that Bucks team that won a championship. And I know Giannis is like the talking point and the superstar there, but I always thought Brook Lopez was a really important part of that Bucks team. I was surprised they didn't hold on to him. So I think they're fine at center with Brook Lopez there, and they've added Isaiah Jackson. So I really think they're fine in that category. Yeah, they lose Harden, but you know, Garland can play. Mathurin can definitely play. So I'm cool with this new Clippers team. It's just in this game, they're definitely a little bit shorthanded. And this Kings team, I mean, they've got DeAndre Hunter there now. It's kind of a weird team. I feel like they're good enough to score some points. I guess it would only be Clippers. I don't really have any thoughts on it. I figured I'd put the depth chart up and talk about it for a second. I don't have any really opinions on this one. Yeah, sorry I don't have more. I'm trying, not really feeling like I'm operating with much of an edge in the NBA right now. Like I said, I got that one bet down tonight that looks to be a good one, but I don't want to just fire off bets for the sake of firing off bets. I'm just trying to get a grasp of something. So thanks everyone for watching. See you all. See you all tomorrow. Talk to you all later.